Thanks, Rob. So, here's kind of my question, and I really appreciate the urgency with respect to your approach of the deals. I actually asked Claudia in the chat, how on earth do you get through all of your due diligence in 10 days, including all the inspections from people smarter than me? Because that's got to be hitting the ground running, ready to go. All important to have the team. So that said, what's the typical process to get from, hard money, PSA, through close, and what happens if you can't get the capital in time? Right?
Great question.
I mean, are extensions just accepted? How many do you get? How far do you go? And what do you guys practically put? Well, anyways, I don't know. You know my question. I'll shut up now.
No,
Sorry.
This is a bunch of great questions. So number one, and I probably should have went there, so I'm glad you're sparking that creativity as well. So excellent job. I like to get 2 30-day extensions. Sellers don't love to give 2 30-day extensions. I like to get 2 30-day extensions for free. Neither one do I pay any money for. Do I get that? Hardly ever. I ask for it, but they don't give it, right? So 15 days times 2, maybe a 30 and a 15 is what they'll give. They'll give me 2 30s if I'm willing to give $100,000 each. I don't want to have that much more skin in the game. But usually by the time you get to an extension, you're far enough along, you're committed to the project. You've already had your initial, because if you pass that day of the first extension trigger, the money you initially put in has gone non-refundable anyways, right? So adding another 50 to that or 100 that, assuming you have it, is really not that big of a commitment. You've already committed to 200, 300, 400 already being non-refundable. So it's really not that big of a deal. So if you don't mind putting money up, or everything's negotiable naturally, I want it to be as little as possible for as long as possible. I don't think I'll need 2 30-day extensions, but our last project had 9 extensions. They weren't all 30 days, but it was, thank goodness, the seller each time we went to him, and he understood the value, said sometimes he gave it to us for $25K, sometimes it was $50K. I don't think any of them exceeded $50K, but by that time we're so committed, we're not walking. So just putting money that we already have collected from investors up, and our investors are never. That's the thing you got to keep in mind. Our investors were never at risk to lose their money, never, because if for whatever reason the deal fell apart, we would make the investors whole, and we would take the hit as general partners. That's part of the risk that you take for being the founder.